Welcome to Bug Jam 24, Europe's biggest and baddest VW festival. Bug Jam is Europe's longest-running VW festival, attracting around 35,000 people over 3 days to the home of European drag racing, Santa Pod. Now in its 24th year, Bug Jam hosts big-name bands and comedians, the VW DRC and Outlaw Flat 4 drag racing. Coming up on today's show, we find out what the Type 2 detectives have planned, we take a look at all of the action from the weekend's racing, and we have a surprise in store for our producer. The T2D boys are back again to transform another VW camper. Although they seem to have forgotten the basics, they haven't actually got a camper.
Now, Paul, you did us proud last year. You built this, you and your boys built this from a bare shell in just 3 days.
We did indeed.
Now, we've challenged you again this year, but you're doing something completely different. What are you doing?
Well, for our sins, we've agreed to do it again. We don't really know what we're going to do this year, actually. We're going to just go out there. We've got a little bit of money in our pockets. We're going to go to the Bug Jam cars for sale area, and we're going to see what there is. Once we've decided what we're going to buy, we're going to send one of the guys back to the workshop, get a load of wheels, suspension gear, and we're going to do something pretty radical.
What are you thinking? Baked, splitty, what are you feeling? Guess basically
whatever funds will allow, really. Yeah. Hopefully we'll find something different.
How much money did you bring?
Enough.
Okay. Paul, you've had me walking around for half an hour now. Please tell me you find something you like.
I think we might have done, but it's not a camper van.
Okay.
It's a builder's truck. Only problem is, the guy that's selling it is living in the back this weekend.
This gentleman here?
And he's reluctant to let it go today. How about if we can accommodate you in the back whilst the build's going on?
As long as I've got somewhere to sleep tonight and the money's right and you get me some beers and some tobacco or something, make it worth my while.
Are you prepared to help with the build?
I'll give you a hand.
Will you get your hands dirty?
I will do, yeah.
Okay, I think we've got a deal then.
Okay, mate, cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Right, get cracking, mate. You've only got 2.5 days, mate.
Paul, Matt, we're back at your HQ. You've got basically 2.5 days left, that's all you've got. So what can you do in 2.5 days?
We're just going to make the thing sit on the floor, basically.
What about wheels and details? What can we see?
Porsche, I've got a set of wheels of a very early 911, which have been actually donated to us by a company here today. They're very good friends of ours at JGE Wheels. We've got, actually, I'm getting sent back to the shop in a little while with the shopping list. What do I have to get, Matt?
It's skinny plate piping, shocks, brakes, bring some more metal back, so I think I'm going to need it.
We're going to tub this one?
Yeah.
So we're going to tub all the wheel arches. So
I'll just explain that for you guys at home. Basically what that means, when you go really narrow and really low, the standard wheel arches just don't give you enough room. So they're going to cut those all away and then make something with a bit more clearance, which is a big job, isn't it?
It's a really big job. Normally at work we'd say 2 days alone just to do a really nice set of tubs. So we've really got our work cut out. Matt is a master fabricator though. I've got real big faith in him. So
just so you can see, no magic of TV. It's now 12:20, day 1 Friday. Lads, get going.
Okay, thank you. Cheers.
So Paul has headed off with his shopping list and the rest of the guys are getting cracking. We'll stop by a little later on to see how they're getting on.
I'm now in the pitch with Andy Raw and his amazing drag race Beetle. Andy, can you talk us through it?
Yeah, basically we built it about 5 years ago. The chassis built by Roy Wilding. We've had a couple of different engines in it, most of them by Jeff Ball, but we've got a brand new engine in it for this weekend.
Yeah.
Running on a Kessler injection system.
And what is that engine out of? That's not a Volkswagen engine, is it?
No, it's a Chevy V8, 5.9 litre. running on methanol.
And what kind of power does that make?
About 1,000 brake horsepower.
This is composite. This is something you've had to have made for the car, I imagine.
Yeah, basically I found the original mould from Outrage, which belonged to Brian Burrows, in a boatyard in Bristol.
Blimey, that'll take a few people back, that car.
It did, yeah. And we got it back to our workshop and we've done our own body out, pressed the body out of it, and put it together basically.
Now this car, this beautifully prepared race car, is called Blackcurrant 3, and as the name suggests, things are a little different, because if you look under here, under the deck lid, where a flat 4 should be, there's actually a forward rear axle, and that's because this little fella runs on electric. And this chap, Sam Young, is the driver. Now Sam, this is possibly the future of drag racing, very environmentally friendly. Tell us about the car, you know, how you've come to build it in this way and why you've done it, really.
Well, me and my brother are always looking to build a race car, and we kind of wanted to do something different. We thought about using maybe a modern engine in the older Beetle, something like that you might find in a sort of modern Golf.
Yeah.
And we just sort of thinking about what we could do, and one night after a few beers, we thought, well, why don't we make it electric?
And the things like motors and batteries, obviously that technology, I guess, is progressing all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you guys find that, and how realistically affordable is it to put into a club level race car like this?
Batteries are expensive. We had a local company that sponsored us, the batteries that we've got in there. At the moment we're running lead acid. There's 400 kilos of lead acid in there at the minute. So ideally what we want to do is switch to lithium ions.
Yeah.
Lithium ions are something like 5 or 6 times the price of lead. But a lithium pack only weighs about 80 kilos.
That'll make a huge difference to your power to weight, I guess. And talking of power, what if you can equate it to horsepower?
Yeah, it's about just over 460 horsepower.
So with Bug Jam, whereas many shows have a show and shine, which Bug Jam does, you also have a rust and rat. Now the whole rat lock thing, which I'll explain in a minute, is a bit of a phenomenon really, and basically the scruffier and rattier and scuttier your car looks, the more chance you've got of winning. So what makes a good rat look? Well, originality is everything really. Patina, bit of rust, bit of faded paint, all goes. Wheels are a big thing. It's fine to be scruffy on top as long as your rims are on form. Now with buses, split buses in particular, this is the holy grail, what they call the barn door. If you look at the back door, it's much bigger, much taller than the later cars, and this means it's worth a lot of money, very, very rare. And also, again, a big one, if you follow me around, always with buses, normally, the more windows you get, the bigger the value. In this one, being a 23 window with the corner windows and all these little fellas in the top, is seriously, seriously sought after. Now, Ratlock's not even restricted to the older cars. On later cars like this Caddy, people are actually artificially aging the car, so they'll actually paint strip of the bonnet, let it expose the elements so it goes rusty like this. So this car really isn't as bad as it looks. Now, another big part of the Ratlock is your stance. It's all important, and this car is pretty much rocking it perfectly with the 3 things to make sure. You've got the narrowed front beam, perfect ride height, and loads of camber at the back end. Back over with the Type 2 detectives, and Paul has just arrived back with all of the bits needed to get this builder's truck rolling with style. Once they've unloaded the van, the proper work can begin. And while they carry on, I have a little surprise in store for our producer.
I think it's fair to say that Bug Jam's a pretty infectious event, and to give you some idea, this guy here, our producer Chris White got so excited when we made the show last year, he actually put his own money, he bought this car for £1,600. Now Chris, come in mate. Chris, this is your car, your pride and joy.
It is.
You actually loved it so much here last year, you bought this, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
First of all, ladies and gentlemen, he has built his own engine. The engine went pop, and with his own hands, he built his own engine. Now, Chris, today, this is Santa Pod. You're a premier drag racing event. You've got to race this today on Run What You Broke. Are you up for it?
Yeah, go on then. Yeah.
While Chris gets himself sorted out and ready for a run, we'll have a little look at one of the many side attractions here this weekend, the Pro BMX ramp.
so here we are, folks, Chris's first ever drag run at Santa Pod. How will it end? Will it be a class record, or will the engine go pop halfway down the strip? Find out after the break.
Welcome back to Bug Jam!
Still to come, we catch up with the Type 2 detectives. We'll see the crazy jet-powered Beetle and join in the Bug Jam nightlife. But now, it's time to see producer Chris take his first ever quarter mile. Now, if you're thinking of making a cup of tea, now is a good time to do it. This could take a while. There's the look of a nervous man. He's away from the lights. It's not the fastest thing out there, but it's quite respectable. Yep, that's about the size of it. Yep, he's still going. Told you it'd take a while. Not a bad reaction time though, 0.73. I've had enough at this point. Several years later, he goes through a 22.38.
22 seconds. I don't think anyone's worried about that one. So Chris, that was your first ever run. What you've run past, mate. You got a 0.7 reaction time with about 22 seconds on the clock. How did it feel?
Oh, absolutely amazing. I'm going again. Definitely.
That's it, he's
Awesome.
addicted.
Oh, yes.
We apologise now to his missus. Now he's going to spend a fortune drag racing. Mate, have fun.
Will do.
So he's off again, and even though we've seen faster looking glaciers, we're going to see if he can get down from those 22 seconds. It shouldn't be too hard. I think I've run up the strip faster than that before. It's very serious business, isn't it? Yeah, down to half a second reaction time. It's the fastest that Beetle has ever been, just so you know. And if you're watching from his insurance company, yep, that is his policy and valid. And if you're buying it second-hand, never raced or rallied, allegedly.
Producer Chris, mate, you're getting quicker and quicker every time. Really? Even the commentators were saying you were knocking off like half a second. The reaction times were getting quicker every time. And here it is, look, here is the scores on the door for producer Chris. There's a quarter MPX there, but here's the numbers that we really want. What you see is 594 for 13 seconds and a reaction time of 0.466. Not bad, that's not bad, mate. Don't worry if you've turned up at Bug Jam without your own Volkswagen, because as producer Chris and the Bill boys have realised, the for sale area is the perfect place to pick up the Volkswagen of your dreams.
So let's find out how those T2D boys are getting on with their second-hand car buy.
So Brett, this morning this was a beautifully original Volkswagen pickup. Now you seem to have cut two enormous holes in the cab.
That's right, yeah.
What's that all about, mate?
As you know, that we're going to slam the vehicle today, and we're going to put 2-inch tubs going in the front. As you can see, I'm notching the chassis here, as we've cut out for the arms. I don't want to lower it and that bend.
Is that just because it's going so low?
So low, yeah.
So I'm guessing that the tubs will be built up here, and that will allow the wheels to sit higher up in the arm.
That's right, and that's why we need to notch it out on the chassis. So we're going about 2.5 inches. We've got plenty of plate there, and then we'll just reinforce this with 4 plate.
Okay, mate, well you crack on and we'll catch up in a bit.
All right, thanks very much. Cheers.
So while Brett modifies the chassis at the front, Paul shows us what they've been up to at the rear.
When you lower this van, the drive shaft and everything hit this chassis box section. So what we've actually done is welded a new chassis section in over the top and then cut this section away. So we've got this much more clearance for all the drive shafts and underpinnings to run through. Which is, clearance is the key to a nice ride quality, basically. So we've done this side, we're going to move on to the other side, and yeah, the job continues.
One of the most impressive Beetles at Bug Jam is this little fella, Blue Max. Now, believe it or not, despite having a helicopter afterburner sticking out the back, Blue Max is road legal, has fully working lights, and even has an MOT, although I wouldn't suggest tailgating this boy on the M25. Now, the engine gives it a theoretical top speed of 200 miles an hour, but with a standard Beetle chassis underneath, I really wouldn't want to try it. As the night draws in, the party people come out to play. And what is it that they love about Bug Jam?
My first one last year, so now I'm hooked.
And what is it you like? Is it the music? Is it the bands? Is it the cars?
Well, we haven't seen the cars, everything. Yeah, everything. We've had a wander around earlier and I like looking at all the different Beatles, what they do. My boyfriend, he works on them all and builds them all up, so it's nice to see all the different ones. And I like to see the camper bands as well, that's my favourite, they're fantastic.
What is it that you love about Bug Jam?
The music, the beer, staying up till 6 o'clock in the morning, getting drunk till 6 o'clock the next day, and the Beatles.
People, cars, the entertainment, vibe, people watching, the whole 9 yards, all of it.
So it's 11 o'clock at the end of day one, all the families have gone to bed and the party's in full swing, but the boys are still working hard on the bus. Join us in the morning to find out how to get on. Good morning, it's Saturday, it's 10 o'clock, the sun is shining, I put my shorts on as a treat for you all, and we're back with the bus boys to see how they're getting on with the build. They mate, it's looking good, but what's left to do?
Just fitting the engine, plumbing all the brakes, plumbing in the engine, just doing the tubs, a bit of paint work and we're there.
As well as tray stands selling new bits and bobs for your VW, there's also the Auto Jumble. And whether you need some heads for your engine, a new gearbox, or even a Beetle floor pad, chances are it'll be there at a wallet-friendly price. Back at the bus build, and the engine needs a bit of pepping up. So the old single carb has got to go, and in its place, a brand new dual carb setup. So while the new carbs look great, the guys have just realised that something is missing.
So we're back at the bus build and Paul, we're missing a part from the back of the bus that you can't find.
Yeah.
We haven't got.
Can you guess what it is?
Can you guess what it is?
Back bumper.
What are you going to do?
Well, we're going to try and blag one, I think. We're going to speak to the event organiser, see if we can get an announcement put out. It's Bug Jam. If someone might...
Well, 30,000 people, you hope.
We might find a really keen drunk person still that might want to unbolt one off the back of their car for the sake of good television. Yeah, no. Well, we are here to blag or beg, borrow, steal. We need a rear bumper for our pickup project. It's a late bay window rear bumper. We need it with irons. If there's anyone out there drunk enough, just unbolt it off the back of your van and bring it over. We'll give you more beer. We've got a nice barbecue going.
We'll check back with the boys a little bit later on. Started in 2006, the Outlaw Flat 4 Racing Series has been pushing what can be done with a VW air-cooled engine to the limit. And with a 13-second quarter-mile cut-off, these guys are serious about high speed. So in this one we've got Joe Gallagher in the Type 3 Carman Gear versus Jim Smith in the Volkswagen Beetle, and Joe really has dropped the whole shot on him there. Hammer down with a .478 reaction time. Although the Beetle is catching up, it's going to be a close call, but Joe takes it 11.72.
How's your day gone? How's your qualifying gone today?
Not too good at the moment. It just went a bit pear-shaped off the line. I have to be honest, the burnout wasn't right. I think there was water on the tyre, and it's come out of the box. Gone to the left and nearly took the wall. And
quite scary on the
well, for a minute, yeah, but you just put your foot back in and carry on.
So let's see that car run. Bernard Newbury's car is the black stitch-up car on the left, and with a superb wheel stand, quite a few yards of fresh air there. Blasting off with an epic reaction time of just .24. He was his from the outset, that one. Great run.
So Peter, this is Volkswagen Drag Racing. You're obviously running a Fiat. I'm guessing by the virtue of the fact you've got Volkswagen power, you're more than an honorary member. The car's really quick. Can you talk to us what you've done to it over the years?
Yeah, it's a Fiat 600. It's running a V2 engine basically, so it's an air-cooled flat four.
I guess it's not a standard car. It looks like it's had a roof chop and a few other tricks and stuff over the years.
Yeah.
All work that you've done?
Yeah, it's stuff that we've done. Yeah, it's had 4 inches taken out on the roof. And it's had front is basically standard, other than discs put on from an 850. The rear end is IRS, and it's just running beta running.
Fantastic. On the right day with the wind in the right direction, what will it run?
Well, it has run 1046.
So it's Peter Englezos in the lovely Fiat nearest to camera and Glenn Collins furthest away in the Toyo Tyres lane. Fantastic launch from both cars, the Fiat getting a little bit wayward there. It's so light, it's so quick, and he's away. Superb run. Slow reaction time of 0.51, not his best, but a great run to take the lights at 11.99.
We basically just put a new motor in the car.
And that looks like you spent a lot of money and time there.
It has been quite a lot of money, quite a lot of time. It's quite a stressful process actually building a full-on motor. I used to run a street motor in the car, and we decided to go for a full race motor this year. So it took us a year to get it together and get it in and tune it.
And is this the first meeting where you've run with a new motor in?
That's right, yes. So we had Friday's one what we run, and basically we just took it easy for the first few runs and everything went really well. And then basically we just started getting on it more and more and just stepping up the aggression on driving it, and it's been fantastic. And we've run 4 PBs in a row now.
Well done. I didn't see your ticket there. What did you get?
Yeah, the best of 11.24.
Very good, mate. Well done.
So we know he can grow a beard, but the question is, can he drive? No one to beat but the clock and himself on a solo run. An amazing wheel stand, popping the wings as he lands there as well. The car obviously really hooking up nicely, but he's backed off the gas there on a decent reaction time. You can see it's damaged the wing as well as he's landed. And that's given him a 12.44. Great run though. So that's it for this part. Join us for more of the same after the break.
Welcome back to Bug Jam.
Here's what's coming up next.
Still to come, we'll see some more from the VW DRC and Outlaw Flat 4s, and we'll check out some cunning stunts in the live action arena. Back at the T2D camp, and the guys are getting busy putting the final touches to the tubs before welding them into place. Meanwhile, at the back end, Paul is just sorting out the adjustable spring plates.
Okay, so we've got the adjustable spring plate on here, which basically allows us, by turning this block here, quite simply lowers or hires the vehicle wherever you want it to be. So if we set everything up and it's a little bit too low, get the Allen key out, quick couple of turns, and it'll quite dramatically affect the ride height. Another great thing about adjustable spring plates, obviously if they weren't adjustable, everything would permanently be right up in the wheel arch. So with adjustable plates, as soon as you jack the vehicle up, everything drops down and you can pull your wheel off with ease.
One of the biggest crowd pleasers at Bug Jam is the live action arena. Some of the most talented stunt performers in the country are here to show off their talents, and it's ram-packed all day. And 16 times Guinness World Record holder Terry Grant was there to wow the crowd, and we caught up with him for a quick chat. So as always, I'm here with Santa Pod legend Terry Grant. Now Terry, you keep entertaining the crowds, mate. You keep changing the routine, you're keeping it fresh. How do you manage to come up with something new every year?
That's the hardest bit, to be honest. You know, this job, it's a difficult enough thing to do, the driving, come up with the new routines, that's the hardest bit. So either myself or all my mates, if they come up with a wacky idea, jot it down on a piece of paper and we try and turn it into reality. A lot of people have been asking, and I know it's taken a long time to put together because obviously you wanted to make sure it was right, but your stunt school is about to happen now, isn't it? Tell us more about that, mate. Yeah, you know, it's a question, again, that I've been asked for years. People come up to me, where can you learn, when can you learn? You can't, no one will teach you. It's real closed, you know, doors. You can't, you know, everyone's scared to let anybody else in. So I decided, you know, it's sort of about time, let's open up an academy.
Now you are looking at the world's fastest jet funny car. This is Fire Force 3, powered by a helicopter jet engine of all things, and capable of well over 330 miles an hour. It's also blooming loud. We saw earlier that the lads had added a lovely new set of dual carbs to the engine, which should give the pickup a bit more pickup. Now that a new exhaust has been added, the guys are putting the engine back in. We'll check back a bit later on to see if it starts first time.
Ivan McCutcheon, editor of Volksworld magazine, VW Camper and Bus. This is your 24th Bug Jam, I do believe.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
Every single one.
Yep.
Mate, you've seen it all. How has it changed, and how is the scene changing since you've been coming to this show?
The show's grown up a lot. It's a lot more focused now than the early days. You've got 30,000 people here, people dressed as Smurfs. Men wearing ladies' clothing, which each of their own.
That was you and I last night, obviously.
Oh yeah. But enough about that. No, it's grown up a lot. There's some, it's if you're into cars, there's something for everyone here.
Now, talk to me about the scene. You've seen fashions come and go. Obviously, we're in a very tasteful period at the moment in terms of where cars are.
Yep.
How do you think that's going to progress going forward?
Well, we've noticed obviously that the camper scene's grown massively, and you've only got to walk around the show to see how many VW camper fans there are here now. I think that also the rat look side of things, the scruffy cars, which are rolling works of art.
So now it's time to get down with the VW Pro Boys, and you've got Richard Merriman in the orange car versus Sam Young in the electric blackcurrant car, which is just so quick. Very weird to watch this car wheel standing because there's just no noise, just tyre smoke and a bit of squealing, but he flies away with a 0.33 reaction time to take the lights at 12.18. So now it's Ian Huggin in the black car versus Phil Norman in the flame pickup with a crazy start there. It's a very even match for both cars, but Ian Huggin seems to have the take on him down the lights. He's slightly quicker despite the slow reaction time, but he's through first to take it 11.9. Now Matt Atwood in the fastback versus Dave Bridge in the beach buggy. Again, a superb start from both cars, and the V8 power of the fastback really digging in there. But the buggy's lighter weight is making it come back a little bit quicker. But can he catch him? It's looking unlikely. Superb reaction time from both drivers, but it's Matt takes it 11.81. Now Danny Wharton in the blue car versus Andy Raw, who we caught up with earlier. This was really an unfair contest. You've got a full drag race chassis and engine there, and he is in a different postcode by the time this run finishes. 8.9. It was never going to be a competition, that one. You've got Paul Herbert in the roof chop car there versus Russ Fellows. Now that car is a street legal car, the car that's nearest the camera. He's got a slow start, but he's got enough power, I think, to bring this back. And he does drive that car on road tyres in between drag runs. There's a lot of power. 0.79 reaction time. Terrible for him, but it doesn't stop him taking the win at 9.47. Now this is the other end of the VW scale. This is VW Sportsman. And it's bracket racing, so you select a time and you get as close as you can without breaking out or going under that time. You've got Polly Naylor there in the white Porsche, really soundly beating Lucy Matthews. But with these cars, it's not always first over the line, it's closest to the time. But in this case, Polly Naylor takes it closest to her dial-in at 17.08.
17.08 on the 17.0 dial-in. And she goes from number 12 to number 6.
Think you've got what it takes to be the next Susan Boyle or Paul Potts? If not, never mind. There's always Bug Jam's Got Talent. Now, Bug Jam is all about celebrating the Beetle in all of its forms. Now, these guys might not be the shiniest cars here, but they're some of the most capable. These are called Bajas, named after the Mexican desert of the same name. And they're shortened at the front, bobbed at the back, and as you can see in a minute, they can go pretty much anywhere. So the main elements of a Baja really are glass fibre panels at the front, so you cut the front away, which gives you much more ground clearance and a better ramp angle when you jump or land. Fiberglass bonnet and shorter wings, and if you come around the back, You've got a very similar situation. They literally cut the whole back end bodywork away. You've got much better access to the engine, and also the car can go up a much steeper incline without bottoming out at the back. Raised ground clearance, some big tyres, a couple of roll cages and bars. Job's a good one. Saturday night at Bug Jam is the night for dressing up and getting down to live music and dance DJs. But what do the people here make of it all?
Are you going in the retro tent or the
We
dance
are
tent?
retro.
You have to with those outfits.
Retro all the way.
And is this your first Bug Jam?
Yeah, it's my first Bug Jam.
No.
We
We've
normally
got some
went
veterans
VW
and some
Action,
newbies.
but we live local.
Oh, do you?
So we've never been Bug Jam before.
You're loving it.
Oh, just everything. Everything.
People.
Yeah. The entertainment. Saturday night. Saturday night's dressing up.
Drinking.
And the drinking, yeah. Everything else that goes with it,
Eating. Oh, what about it? What a weekend, what a weekend.
It's brilliant, honestly, awesome.
I've had the fastest time today on the strip. I've done 5.1.
How versatile weekend.
5.1 I've done in me year. 2.5 litre twin carb camper.
Atmosphere, it's really good. Yeah, great atmosphere. All friends, family and the children support. We have a great night. Yeah, we've got kids, grandkids.
Rocking out on the main stage at Bug Jam 24 was legendary 80s band Doctor and the Medics. Let's catch up with the band and see how they got on.
Won't you give me the beat? Check it, check it.
Guys, you totally rocked it. It was a fantastic set. What do you think of your first Bug Jam?
Well, we haven't worked it out yet, really. It went really well, and the fact that it has, I mean, a certain amount of euphoria.
Yeah. So would you like to come back next year, and what changes would you make to the act, if at all, for next year?
Well, I mean, obviously, I'd get another band in.
Yeah, we get another singer.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we form a tribute to ourselves. We're always chopping and changing it, and I think if we did it again next year, we might look at bringing. I mean, the songs like we didn't do tonight. I mean, like Love Shack and stuff like that. You never know. We might just think, oh, let's do it a little bit more custom made for
More retro.
the Bug Pack.
Yeah,
more retro.
More retro.
Yeah.
But guys, you're amazing. Thank you for rocking Bug Jam. And we hope to see you next year.
We loved it.
I think you'll see us next year, whether playing or not. Some of us, anyway. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I might even have my van painted by then.
Do it.
Yeah.
Might have a gearbox by then.
Cheap gearbox for a T25, please.
Yeah.
So now it's time for the VW Pro quarter-finals, and you've got James Hodson in the Golf versus Michael Geraghty in the Beetle. The Beetle, being the slower car, goes off first, and the faster Golf of James Hodson is left to catch him up in a tortoise and hare style. It's bracket racing, so it's closest to the time without breaking out who wins. So look for the win light around the advert boards, and it looks like it is James in the Golf at 11.31. Great run. Now Jacob Bailey in the white Jetta versus Sam Young in the Beetle. Sam Young, that electric power is just immense. Hooked up nicely. You can't hear the car. All that noise is coming from the Jetta. But it looks like Sam had him from the start to go through at 11.38. Fantastic run. Now it's the turn of Matt Atwood in that V8 powered fastback versus Richard Merriman in the orange Beetle. Another superb wheel stand from the fastback. But it could be that Richard Merriman's got him this time. Very hard to tell from here. Look for the lights. It's looking like that Atwood has got it. OK, so now it's Outlaw Flat 4 racing. You've got Michael Geraghty getting his day's out worth, running in this category as well, and James Wootton in what looks like a shabby old oval, but believe you me, that's all make-believe. It's perfect underneath.
Will that be the case here? Yes, it was.
So, good start from both guys, but actually, Wootton has absolutely just sat his car down on the line. It's Michael's for the win, this one. I think he's broken it.
Who has had a fault this weekend thus far. Well, it's another.
Oh dear. That one's not going anywhere. And now it's time for the gearbox man and the trimmer to face up head-to-head. Two of the most experienced and quickest drag racers in VW DRC, Bernard Newbury and Peter Englezos.
Looking at previous form today.
Always guaranteed a good start from these fellas. Bernard Newbury doesn't disappoint with a fantastic wheel stand. That's going to be very close. These cars have been running close together all day long. It can be hard to call. Almost identical top-end speeds, with a win light just going to Bernard Newbury by a fraction of a second. So join us after the break for more Bug Jam action. Welcome back to Bug Jam 24. Here's what's coming up next. We've got all the action from the drag strip. We bounce around the lowriders and cruise the show and shine. Back at the build, and the T2D guys have got the tubs in and are pretty much ready to go. Let's find out from Paul Medhurst what's left to do.
All we've got left to do now is the final reveal. The most exciting part of the lower end job is actually seeing how the thing's going to sit. So we can get the wheel on, we can get the thing on the floor. But yeah, that's been really good, really good atmosphere at Santa Pod. Let's see if it actually starts. They got me.
Now, if you ever fancied cruising with a bit of West Coast style, then you need to have a word with these boys. But it's not all Yank tanks and Euro barges. Even the Volkswagen lads have a bit of a go as well.
What line do I go on?
Now, as a thank you for rocking the crowd at Bug Jam, the organisers let Clive from Doctor and the Medics take his LT van up the strip. It's not going to be the fastest thing you've seen, but he looks like he's enjoying himself. That's the main thing.
No buses anywhere. So, what spec is it?
I think this is another chance for you to make a cup of tea at home. Thankfully, he sings better than he drives.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not a fan of buses, I thought. So how many
Good reaction time, though, Clive. Actually, that's not much slower than Chris's time. So, Chris, what's your excuse? All the best car events have their own show and shine, and Bug Jam is no exception, showcasing some of the best VWs currently in the scene.
I first got into Volkswagens back in the 80s, and what's nice is the whole look of that time is coming back with people restoring or recreating cars from 89, with the Back to 89 movement. This is a great typical example in terms of the interior, the colour choice and the wheels. And one of the ultimate Back to 89 cars is Billabug, created by two of the movers and shakers of the scene at the time. Billabug rocked a whole new set of tricks that had never been seen before then, and even today, 21 years later, look absolutely incredible. If you look at things like the complete lack of pillar and the D-seam roof, it really was a groundbreaking car, and if you look at people's reaction, it's not got any less. So this is a car that has loads of tricks, and the more you look, the more you see. There's so many. You've got the running boards plated over, and the whole side of the car was brought down, so the wing had to be extended to make that happen. Each wheel is actually hand-filed with a little Billabong symbol in there, which looks amazing. If you come around the back, you've got flush 39 forward lights, and what was very, very cool at the time when this car came out is they actually reversed the inlet manifold and put the carburettor behind the fan shroud, making the engine much, much cleaner, and hid all the wiring. It was very cool even now. So this is a classic example of a period cow looker. So you've got the nose down stance with a rubber rake, skinnies on the front and fatties at the back. Nice clean single colour pastel paint, T-bars, a really nicely executed car, that one. Now in the show and shine there's loads of cars. It's not all about restorations or cow looks. There's also out and out customs, and this is a great car that's been on the scene for a long time. It used to be known as Dolly Mixture, which was a blue and pink two-tone bus. And if you look, the whole double door section in the middle has been taken out and the whole van grafted back together. It's cute. Now when you sit inside a beautiful van like this, it's not hard to understand why campers have become the darling of the Volkswagen scene. I'm sitting here on the finest leather, I've got a bottle of Moët chilling, I've got my goldfish to entertain me. This is classic car ownership at its best.
OK, I've I've got a semi, a VW Sportsman semi that is, and we've got Martin Aiton in the Scirocco waiting as Russ Weir powers off in the Golf. The question is, can he catch him? He's got it all to do, a lot of ground to make up. You can see the dial-ins on the bottom there. Watch for the wind light on the 2 advertising boards. And there it is handed to Russ Weir. So now Rhonda Callaway in the Golf faces Luke Stevenson in the Audi, and Luke is red lit from the start, so this is an easy one. Rhonda Callaway is from the very beginning. All she's got to do is get to the end. She's done. She's won. You can see automatic win on the board there. She can take as much time as she likes. And now the VW Pro Semis. We've got Sam Young in the Electric Beetle versus James Hodgson in the Golf. Can electric power triumph over internal combustion? I think the answer is yes. That car is just so quick. The torque happens so low down. He's got instant power from the very beginning of the line. Look at that. The win again, 11.28. He's doing fantastically well today. And there's the brother very, very happy. It's Matt Atwood once again in the V8 powered fastback versus Ian Huggan in the other lane. This car launches very hard. Whoa. And to be fair, Huggan's no slouch off the line either. It's going to be a very, very close race, this one. V8 power seems to have it though. Yeah, and he's taking it through. Atwood takes the win. Well, the guys have done it again. What was a builder's truck at the start of the weekend is now a slammed pickup truck with a ton of style. Now all that's left is to parade it to the thousands of people here at Bug Jam who've been watching the transformation.
So you sold this van just 2 days ago.
Yeah, I'm good. I've had a nice time over the weekend. I'd like to buy it back, but I just can't afford it.
But do you like what they've done to it, or do you think they've changed it beyond the recognition?
Changed it beyond recognition. I can't put bricks in the back of there no more.
What we've done here is about 5 to 6 days work, pounding it to about 48 hours. So we're tired but very happy, and yeah, a great weekend. And mind boggles what you're going to make us do next year.
Well, this is what I'm wondering, what might you do for us next year, mate? We keep raising the bar every year.
With Bug Jam, we should really do a fun, I suppose.
And we caught up with a very happy David Lloyd-Jones, Santapod's general manager, for his thoughts on a capacity-filled weekend.
Oh, it's been fantastic. The weather's been glorious. Record crowd. Sold out on Friday night. We got extra car parking in for Saturday and Sunday. Racing's been really close and good. The record speed's been achieved. And the band's been really good. We were down the Storm last night and roll on for next year, the 25th anniversary.
Thank you, I can't remember that anyway.
So it's the VW Sportsman's final now, and Rhonda Callaway, after being gifted a red light on the last one, has got to fight it out proper with Russ Weir in the other Mark II in the near lane nearest to you. So Russ Weir's off. Can Rhonda catch him up? Bit of a jerky gear change there, mate. It's getting closer and closer. You can see again the dial-ins at the bottom. It's the closest to that without breaking out or going under that time. And there you go. We weren't expecting that one. Russ Weir takes that one. And how is the tree huggers' favourite Sam Young getting on?
So mate, we're just catching up with you at the end of the weekend. You've had a pretty phenomenal couple of days really. The car's been going very well, you've been driving very well. How's it gone from your point of view?
Great, yeah, we're really happy with the car. We're just trying to get to the peak of where we think that the speeds it's going to run, and we think we've probably got there, or certainly it's now running consistently, which means that we're through to the final now. So that sort of proves the point that we
well, that's
run fairly consistently.
I think, like you say, you've proved what you came to prove, haven't you? Really, that electric cars can compete on an equal footing with internal combustion. The car looks immense. So, mate, we're going to let you to focus now because not too long before the final. There's a few spots of rain, so we'll hope that's all it is.
Hopefully.
All right, mate. Good luck.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Take care.
And up against Sam is Matt Atwood in the blacklisted fastback.
So Matt, we're standing here just before the finals begin. Yep. Your amazing fastback has been charging hard all weekend. It's a mad sounding car and it launches really, really fiercely. Yep. Can you just talk us through some of the technical highlights of what you've done?
It's basically a Rover V8 engine, 4 litre. It's out of a Land Rover Discovery, and it's got mega squirt fuel injection on it. The hissing noise with the supercharger.
Right. It does sound absolutely unreal, doesn't it, when it launches?
Yeah.
And it really squats down when you go as well, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Yeah.
So what sort of power is that running, Matt, then?
About 300 at the wheels.
That's plenty, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Without the wheelie bars, I guess you'd just be straight over, wouldn't you?
As soon as I fitted the slicks, I needed wheelie bars because it was just too dodgy.
You're running 1183 and dying on the back.
Yeah.
Have you been getting close to that today?
1188, my closest.
So here we have it, the big boys final, the pro final. We've got the old school, the Rover V8 versus the new wave thinking of electric power, Atwood versus Young. It's going to be an amazing launch from the Fastback, it always is. But this could go either way. Superb launch from Atwood. But Young has got the torque. You can see how that battery power comes in so low down. He's flooring it, but again, it's down to the brackets. 11.83 is his dial-in. He's going to take it. Look at that. Young takes it. Electric power for the win.
I'm so proud of what Sam Young's done. By the way, it's a most taken around
And now it's the Outlaw Flat 4 final. We've got Michael Geraghty in the Black Beetle versus Rudy Olivenza in the new wave, new Beetle. That's a serious bit of kit. They've come all the way from France for this. Let's see if it was worth the effort. Geraghty's away hard, but that new Beetle is just so quick. Rudy powers away from the lights there. This is Heads Up Racing, so it's first past the post. And vive la France! It's a victory for the French lads.
and they know where to tune the car now.
So that's it, Bug Jam's over. It's been 3 days of fantastic cars, superb partying and brilliant people. And you know what? I've nicked producer Chris's Beetle and I'm going to have a bit of quarter-mile action of my own. See you next year. This is Gerald Cole spitting, this is Gay Elvis, and this one, Gokwan does karaoke. And in the trade area, there's every kind of sunglasses brand you can imagine. There's D&G, there's Guess, there's Calvin Klein.